Okay, yay! This meeting is being recorded. So today is September the 7th, Tuesday, our first Tuesday of the month. And I'm excited to talk to you guys today about how to slay your consistency. So myself and some of my leaders are here to help us slay our fall. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Kelly Cano. I'm a superstar director in El Paso, Texas. And I've been with Scentsy for 12 years. And I'm just excited to share with you guys. So I'm going to start, especially because my internet is kind of spotty. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was something I started doing, well, in the middle of August, and it's a 90-day slay. So I challenged a couple of my team members to do the same thing with me because I want accountability for myself as well. And it always helps when you do stuff with somebody else. And so I have my mask on. So if anybody walks by, I have to put my mask up. So forgive me for having a bearded look. This is why. So anyway, so I started this 90-day slay and I did not come up with this. So honestly, I have no clue who came up with this, but I found it and I'm using it and it's amazing. So I will share this document also with all of the leaders so that way you guys can have it if you would like to use it for yourself. It has tremendously turned my business around. I was pretty stagnant with recruiting and I was doing well with PRV, but I didn't really book a lot of parties in the last few months. I guess the summer hit and I just kind of in the party department was not all there. And so I needed a swift kick in the rear. And this is what happened. So what this 90-day slay is 10 minutes of personal development. We started a book club together as a team, and so we're currently reading Believe It. If those of you who went to Scentsy Family Reunion, it was with Jamie Lima Kern or Kern Lima or something, that book, and it's amazing. So if you've not gotten it or read it, I highly recommend it. So that's been my 10 minutes of personal development. I also watch YouTube videos. I listen to some motivational stuff. Whatever personal development looks like for you, that's what you do you. So 10 minutes every day. And then also to update on my current news. And then, this is the hard one for me, add 3 new friends to Facebook. And at first I was like, oh, I got this. And then as the time started going, it was a little bit more difficult. So I have started looking for groups that have the same interests as me. I have Stacy, who's going to talk here in a little bit. I'm going to steal your little piece because she's been going through all of her customer list and finding them on Facebook, right? So if you don't have all of your customers on Facebook or social media, then that's another great way to do that. I've also, because now we're a little bit out more, so I've expanded it to not just 3 new people on Facebook, but 3 new people that I'm meeting a day. And it's a challenge. That's why it's called a 90-day slay. But let me tell you what it has done for my business. I mean, the whole entire sheet is I'm slaying my business right now. Then follow up with 3 customers. That's the easy one. Share the opportunity with 3 people. Again, another hard one. But you know what I have found is that sharing with 3 people a day makes you very, very aware of what you're doing. And these are income producing activities. So I don't know about you guys, but we all live a busy life. My life is chaotic, as I'm sure 99% of you on here as well. And so if you do nothing else every single day, but maybe this, you are going to be gravy, because these are true income producing activities. So by me having to write it in here and write names down, it's making me aware that I was not talking about the opportunity enough. That's why my recruiting was stagnant. The end. That is really what it boils down to, is just getting out there and talking and being very intentional. And then the next thing on there was talking to three people to host a party. Again, how many times was I asking people to host a party? Not very often. Well, duh, no wonder I was not booking very many parties, because I wasn't asking. So now, because I'm consistently doing this, I have more parties now than I could ever, I can imagine. Thank God for online parties, because I can run multiple ones at the same time. But you know what? I already have almost 3,000 PRV, and it's the 7th of the month. So it's really working. I've recruited 3 people. And why? And not because I'm some amazing genius, it's because I'm asking and I'm doing and I'm producing. And then the last, well, not the last one, but the next one is if you have a team, to do shout outs, 1 to 3 people, send a voice text, send a little fun video, do something like that to somebody in your team. And then there's just little check marks to make sure you're posting on Facebook, posting to your business page, posting to your VIP page, posting to your team page if you have one, posting to Instagram, posting to Pinterest. I don't do Pinterest, so I don't do that one. And then commenting on 10 friends' posts, and also sending birthday messages from Facebook. So why comment on 10 people's posts? Well, the more that you're interacting, the more people are seeing your Facebook. So it's a big, huge circle, right? You're adding people on Facebook, you're commenting on people's Facebook, you're asking people to invite them to join your business. And it is a huge, just big round circle of events. So if you do nothing else, I highly, highly recommend that you guys start doing something very, very similar to that, because it will change your fall, I guarantee you. I have a few other things I just wanted to touch on real quick is about parties, because again, parties have looked different. If you were doing online parties last year, maybe they're not doing so good for you this year. So I'm going to challenge you to revamp your parties. That looks like, change up your business as the times change, and times are changing fast. I'm noticing that people, it's saying my internet's unstable. I hope, can I get a thumbs up? Are you guys hearing me still? No. Oh no. Are you guys, can you hear me? Christy may have to take over.
She was on a good one too with the revamping my party. I need to hear that.
Everybody looks frozen.
Can you guys hear me? This is Christy. Can you all hear me okay? I'm not all choppy. We'll let her come back in. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and get Stacy on, because when we talked about this earlier this week, Stacy was going to come after Kelly, and then I'll come in and do my little part. And if Kelly gets stable internet, we'll come back to her. So Stacy, will you give us some information and share some information that we discussed and let you be up on top?
Sure.
This is my teammate and Kelly's downline as well. Her name is Stacy Parker.
Hey,
Get it, girl.
So recently, well, once I started really taking my business seriously and switching the mindset of servicing my customers, which was really the big part, I needed a way to consistently touch them and make sure that I had something that I could repeat and keep going as my business grew, and that I could maintain without stressing out, because I know most of us are busy, full-time jobs, part-time jobs, kids, marriage, husband. We need something, a system that works, that we can consistently work. Between watching videos and talking to other consultants, I kind of came up with my own process, and to consistently be able to follow up and touch pretty much every single customer I have every month, at least once. So what I came up with was a monthly mailer, and it's just simple postcard for all the months except for the 2 months we do changeover. When we do changeover, I do an envelope. It is a little bit more costly, but if they want a catalog or a what is it, product brochure or a the product sheet list when we do catalog change. But the rest of the month, I just do a simple postcard. I compiled a list, a spreadsheet, and then I loaded it into Avery and I printed it off with my labels, and then I print off a sheet because I like to keep things electronic. Plus, I like to have the check off feeling, like I know I've done this, and it just makes me feel accomplished. And I can also use this as notes. So like this, so I'll print off the same spreadsheet, but into just on a regular piece of paper. And then that'll give me a chance to make notes or write down little things. Maybe if they told me to take them off my list, that's the only time they really come off my list, is if they say, stop bugging me. I don't want nothing to do with Scentsy. Which is very rare. Or they tell me they already have a consultant, or their sister signed up, or whatever. Which in that point kind of makes you backpedal and think, maybe I should have said, hey, do you or someone you know might be interested in wanting to sell Scentsy? So that kind of makes you think that maybe you should have been doing a little bit more of what Kelly was saying and reaching out and sharing the opportunity more. And that's happened to me actually twice this month. So I'm also doing the 90-day slay with Kelly. And what I've been doing is implementing my contact list into the 90-day slay. Like she said, I've been friend requesting everybody to make sure that they're on my Facebook, to interact with them on a daily basis if possible. If they post something, mom interest, or maybe they like the same kind of TV show or whatever they might post. So it's another way to touch them. It's just when I go into my Amy app, I use that for my invoicing. I use that as my way to pull up their name and click text message so I can show a record of messaging them. So Amy does all of the backlogging, keeping track of how I've contacted them and their orders. But I like to keep my check sheets here. So that's one of the processes I do. And like I said, I keep notes on it. It just makes me be consistent. It's easy. I mail out my postcards pretty much the last week of the month. That's for the coming month. So this one went out at the end of August for September. I make sure that I have a little spot for my label. The stamp on the front is always the scent in the warmer of the month. I always put my website. Actually, this is my link tree, which actually goes to all of my links. So that's perfect. That keeps it so everything is in one spot. And it also has a new client sign up sheet. So if they just want contact information, they just want to talk to me, they can sign up there. And it's actually just my Amy link. So it actually goes right into my Amy app. So I don't have to backtrack and enter all their information. I use a scent of the month sticker right here. And then on the back side, I just try to pick something that I want to talk about that month. So right now I want to start booking more parties because we're coming into the Christmas season, and that is a big thing. A lot of people want to book parties because they want to earn their Christmas gifts half and free, so that is one of my biggest pushes right now, is sharing the opportunity. And actually this is just kind of a how to earn free Scentsy without hosting, is what I did this month with a personal shopping link. And it just says start your Christmas shopping early. And then I just added at the top to sign up for text notifications, because I have a number that I just have for like VIPs that get alerts. So it's simple. It's got a lot of information on it. Sometimes, like this month, I had a bigger picture. Sometimes if I don't have a bigger picture, I'll add a few extra scents on there with the scent stickers. I was really skeptical at first sending this out with the scent stickers, worried about them getting beat up in the mail. Thankfully, my wonderful neighbor has worked for the post office for almost 20 years, and she takes all my mail for me and has helped me design my cards. So they won't get covered by scanners and the mail and beat up and all the fun stuff. But I tested it out with a lot of my VIPs. They all told me that when they received their mail, the scratch and sniff stickers were wonderful. They weren't in bad shape. They could smell the scents real clear. So it's been working. I've been doing this for a little over 6 months now. This is my second catalog change. And it's been wonderful. My sales have increased. I've been consistently doing over $2,000 in PRV a month because I consistently follow up. I consistently message everybody, personally message everyone on my list and ask them what they thought. That's all I do is ask them what they thought of that scent. And then that strikes up a conversation, just anything. Like sometimes I just ask how they're doing and then ask them what they thought of the scent. I just try to be real intentional and, meaningful in my conversations and building the relationships with them. So I just tell them I want their feedback. This is all it is. And that leads to orders. And sometimes they just order without me even messaging them first. So
Awesome. What program do you use for your postcards?
So the postcards I purchase through their Avery. They come forward to a sheet. I didn't grab the packaging. And then I put them into Avery and I just design them in there and then print them out and they're perforated. And there's 4 to a sheet. And then I just, that's exactly the one. Yep.
So this is the Avery one she uses.
That's awesome.
It is template number 3380, and you can get them off of Amazon. You can get 120 cards for I think like $15, and she
Yes.
prints them out herself. And from what I'm understanding, when she loads it into Avery, she designs it in Avery as well.
Yep. And you can do your QR code in Avery as well. And it just makes it so much easier to import it and put it in there. And I just have the design saved. So every month I just go in and just change out my pictures, change out the coloring. This month I did kind of a more of a fall theme. So you just want to authentic, be yourself. My customers are excited to see what's coming the next month. I think in June was running late because we had a family trip and I had people asking me, where's this one scent of the month? I want to smell it. So when you consistently do something, they're expecting it. And if you keep following through with it, you're going to find results.
Absolutely. You're in their face. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Finally. Okay. Yay for now. And I wanted to move on real quick while you were talking about be your authentic self. I wanted to, Christy, you have not talked, right? While I was in process
you're
of
good.
having technical difficulties. Okay. And that was a perfect transition because you've been doing a lot of stuff that have been recently that has been very authentic to you. So you want to share with us?
Sure. So, reading the book that Kelly brought up earlier, from our speaker this year, there's a lot of authenticity things in there. And one of the things that I absolutely love, and if you know anything about me, I mean, my family Christmas pictures were taken with them. I mean, I have a absolute diehard love for alpacas. Now, people put alpacas and llamas together. They are 2 totally separate animals. We'll go into that lesson later. Yes, Kelly does it all the time, but it's okay. But I have a big love for alpacas. And it radiated when I started going to the rodeo in Houston with my aunt. And I started thinking about things of being authentic in me, besides being loud, my alpaca love. So it started with simple business card. And I don't know if you can see it, but in the back end of all my business cards now has all these little itty bitty alpacas to the back end of them. And then I went, okay, well, if my business cards got it, I got to get my labels to have it. So all of my labels have alpacas on them. Anything and everything alpaca. I even have, when my thank you mailers go out, it says, love your order, llama no. And there's a little llama on it. So everything I touch has some sort of alpaca or a llama on it. It is a great conversation piece, and it has led me to apply for the Llama and Alpaca Committee at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. It's 100% volunteer position, and it's all about getting in there, getting with all of these breeders for llamas and alpacas for, the rodeo. And it's something to get me in. It's a conversation starter piece. And then whenever they start to see all of this, do you know how many people make it to a rodeo? Over 2 million people in 3 weeks show up at a rodeo. Do you know how many people I will get to have a potential of a face-to-face touch by volunteering at a rodeo? I bet you I have about 250,000 people in my 40 hours of volunteering at the rodeo. So put yourself out there into things that you truly love and have a passion for. I have a passion for alpacas. I am trying to bend the rules for my HOA to see if I can sneak 1 or 2 in, because I love them so much. People, when they think of me and they see, oh, look, I thought of you. It's got an alpaca on it. Okay, thanks. I don't drink coffee, but I have 15 mugs with alpacas on them. They think of alpacas, they think of me. So what does that say? What is your passion? What is one of those things besides Scentsy that somebody thinks about you? Do you have this love for Great Danes and all your Danes are everywhere? Do you have a love of jumping out of airplanes? And what is your passion besides your kids, your country, your maker? What is your passion outside of all of those in Scentsy that you can bring Scentsy to? So that's my thought process on that. And I was going to be real quick because I was going to be at the end of this one. So if Kelly, you want me to go to the next one, we can, or if you want to take over and finish what you were talking on, we can do that too.
Yeah, let's ask. We're gonna just be a couple more minutes, but I wasn't sure if you guys heard anything about parties.
They wanted a refresh on that and come back to that.
Okay, yeah. So let's chat about the parties a little bit.
Got it.
So what I was basically saying was that whatever was working for you last year may not be working for you this year. So it's really important to revamp those things. And people are wanting to start to get together a little bit more. People are zoomed out. I know I'm zoomed out. I am not loving being on Zoom 24/7 like I was last year. And so you also have to keep yourself safe. So if you're not comfortable getting out, then you've got to be creative and find ways in doing it. A lot of people are back to work. So you can get on the go basket testers and you can take them and drop them off. If you go to an office, leave the testers with the receptionist and ask them if they want to keep it for a week. She can be the hostess. She passes it around to all of the people in the office, and boom, there's a party. Have a sip and sniff. It doesn't have to be a huge event. You could social distance. And I just recently did this on Saturday. We met at a coffee shop and there was like 5 to 6 ladies there and everyone was social distance, almost at a different table kind of, because it was a really tiny place. It was a very comfortable event where everyone was very COVID conscious, masked up, and it was a fabulous party. Home parties are the way. I mean, honestly, if you're comfortable and you're putting yourself out there and you are comfortable going into a home, that is a perfect way to grow your network. And I say this because as you're doing, you may say, I don't have enough people to do this 90-day slay. I'm going to run out of people. And you're right. You're going to run out of people to ask for parties. You always have to be adding people to your network. And whether that's going to be on social media, whether that's going to be by booking parties, I mean, honestly, the best way to grow your network is by booking parties, because you're inviting people and then they're inviting people and you're growing your network, and it just compounds from there. So I cannot stress enough the power of a party, a very simple party. And you know what? I am not a crafty type, and I get drug in a lot of times by social media and all these cute party packs and all the things. I do not have time for that. So you do you. Don't get discouraged because, well, I don't have the funds to do all these things, or I don't have the time, or I don't have whatever. Those are just excuses. Bust those excuses and just simply call and book a party. And if you are just brand new starting out, or maybe you just don't even know where to start, host your own party. host your own party, have an open house, do it virtually if you're not comfortable. You can do a messenger party, you can do a Zoom party, you can do a Facebook Live. There's so many ways, but start somewhere. So I'm gonna leave you here. We're gonna get to Q&A in a little bit, but before I end the recording, I want to challenge each and every one of you to book a party of some kind, home party, a open house, a on the go party, an office party, whatever the case may be. I'm going to challenge every single one of you guys to book that party this month. And I promise you that you are going to see a world of difference. You book that party, you challenge yourself to book a party from every single party, ask your hostess to join, and your business, it'll just start compounding from there. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I'm going to stress that this fall. Keep everything super simple because everything can get overcomplicated. But when you just go back to the basics and remembering that you need to book parties, you need to recruit, you need to follow up, you need to be prospecting constantly, you are going to have a very, very good, thriving business. So Christy, we have a couple of minutes. I would love if you would talk about events, because that's another good way to get out of your comfort zone and to grow your business. And I do not do a lot of events, and you are the event queen. So I'm going to pass it just for maybe, can you keep it to like 3 to 5 minutes?
I can try. If I start to
Okay.
go too long, start going.
I'll cut you off. I
Yeah,
got you.
that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So I started events whenever I was asked to do, and this was 10 years ago, I was asked to do an event at a gymnastics meet or have a booth at a gymnastics meet. From there, it downward spiraled. I fell in love with events because there are so many people and you don't have to spend a long period of time with them. They're in and out. They've got an agenda they want to do, but they see something shiny or they smell something good and they want to stop and see. And the kids, buddies, oh my gosh, all I have to say there. After I did a couple years of just that same gymnastics meet, I started going, okay, well, I really have a passion for this. What can I do? How can I find other events? Okay. So I started asking straight up on my page, anybody around here know of any fairs, fundraisers, events that are happening, anything around the area that you can refer me to? And they would leave comments or send me a personal message or anything like that. And then I would do the reach out and touching to everybody. I would send a message to the fundraising coordinator, to the bazaar coordinator, and go that route to reach out and get my foot in a door. If they already had a Cincy person, I didn't want to be that secondary person there. I know you're now allowed, I think, under the rules, but you have to be separate. But I wanted that consultant to have all the people. So I would then shift off and I go, okay, if something happens and she can't make it, here's my information. I would ask to be her backup. Next thing you know, I can't do events by myself. I start bringing in people to help me. And we make our own little system. If y'all want any more in depth on that, just send me a message. I have no problem sharing how exactly we do it. But we are up to, I bet we do about 15 events a year. We're trying to get to the big boy events like your professional bull riding events, your huge week-long state fair type of events. Now that stuff's starting to open back up again. We have a 12-foot trailer that we take our stuff in for our events. And it's sometimes we don't make our event fee back, but all of those contacts that we get, even if I sold one bar to one person, I've got their contact information, and guess who I'm sending a catalog to? Guess who I'm sending a thank you card to? Guess who I'm reaching out to after 2 months saying, hey, that one bar probably didn't last you very long. It was a great smell. What can I help you with? And reaching back out. You don't always have to make bank to be able to grow those connections, which is what you build your business off of. Is that quick enough?
Yeah, that's perfect. And so I was also going to just suggest that right now, Sorry, it's gonna get loud. Right now, this is a time where schools are doing craft fairs and churches are doing bazaars and all kinds of things. Start little. Those are the type of events I like. I do not like to do big events. Then that's my personal preference. But you got to start somewhere. I used to do events and that's how I gained a lot of customers. So I think events are a great way for you to also to grow your network. So that is all we have today. I'm so thankful for you guys for sharing. We are gonna stop the recording, maybe. I don't even know who's recording anymore. Maybe we won't. And then we will get to Q&A.